Good day. Is America's foreign policy serving the interest of America, or is it serving the interest of another country? Specifically, this country here now is Israel. This is the question that is being asked severally and increasingly by several influential people in America. Is Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu dictating the foreign policy of America? Americans have come to this point where finally they are looking within themselves and they're asking this question. This is the question being asked by Tucker Carlson. It is also being asked by Bernie Sanders. It is being asked by several other American media and political figures. America is at a very important crossroads. And that crossroad is the big question of, should American foreign policy serve America's interest, or should it serve the interest of the Israeli state, and specifically the interest of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's administration in Israel? Good day. Welcome to my channel, Ebimo Amungo's Perspective on Global Affairs. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. If you have any opinions regarding the ideas I express here, please put them in the comment section. Anybody who has been watching the interviews of Benjamin Netanyahu since the launch of Operation Rising Lion, when he unilaterally attacked Iran, will notice that he talks more with a more differing, calm, not his tone doesn't have zest as it used to have as it had on the very first days of that operation being launched. These days, he talks in a tone that has only one objective. Please, America, come and save us. Donald Trump, please join this war and help us bomb Iran. This has been what he has done for over 30 years. He has held him and the Israeli lobby in America has influenced several wars in the Middle East for the interest of Israel. Notably, the war in Iraq that took out Saddam Hussein and bogged down America for several years. The NATO attack on Libya that eventually led to the overthrow and the killing of Muammar Gaddafi. The several operations against Hezbollah and against other regimes in the Middle East that were considered to be non-friendly towards Israel. The latest being the Syrian President Assad. So Israel has been the pointer and director of American Middle East policy. But this time around, Israel is actively against the explicit interest of America on our American politicians. Some has gone to pick a fight with Iran, and they are being hit at a level never seen since the creation of Israel in 1948. Bombs, missiles are flying into Israel and taking out military installations, taking out so many things in Israel there but the most important thing is that while it's destroying a lot of military and civilian infrastructure, the biggest thing being destroyed is one, the long-held belief that Israeli Iron Dome is very good and will take out everything. Another thing being destroyed is the invincibility of Israel as a military power. But if any other thing is being destroyed and is being shaken to its foundation, is the role of the American lobby in American politics. Benjamin Netanyahu's reckless attack on Iran, for whatever excuse, possibly some say regime change, some are saying that he wants to take out the nuclear enrichment facilities in Iran, for whatever reason, it has been classified as aggression against international law and a unilateral action of Israel. But he was always counting on America supporting him. He probably had the thinking that definitely he can draw America into it because his long-term friend, President Donald Trump, is, after all, the 47th president of America, the 47th president of America. So his calculations were that should be what would happen. America should just march in and complete it. He has already moved in, and he was expecting America to be right behind him. But this is a different America in a different age and a different time. I think Americans are getting a little bit wary of long wars. But if that is not just it, America is also getting embarrassed that a president who campaigned on America First platform, on putting America at the center of every decision he's taking, is now almost dragging America into a war on behalf, another war on behalf of the Israelis. So powerful people like, powerful not because they have a political platform, but powerful because they have a voice. Jeffrey Sachs, people like Tucker Carlson, people like Candace Owen, people, they are all using their platforms. Steve Bannon, these are people who are part of the Donald Trump orbit, the Make America Great Again orbit. And they are save apart from Jeffrey Sachs, forgive me, he definitely is not a part of the MAGA orbit. But these other names I called supported Donald Trump, and they have big platforms, social media platforms, and they are all questioning why America should be fighting on behalf of Israel. Even a Republican like Marjorie Taylor Greene and a former Republican like Mark Gertz, they're all saying, why should America be responding to the rascality and irresponsibility of an Israeli government that does not heed American interests, but only seeks to satisfy its own interests? This is where America is now. And if Donald Trump is holding back from punching Iran, as he had threatened to do, giving ultimatums, told Iran to surrender, told us that he knows where the Ayatollah is, but he has not been able to make a decisive move, it may just be because of these voices. For the very first time, and in a fact that the world is changing, the Israeli lobby, the lobby that has empowered Netanyahu, is beginning to lose its steam. Indeed, in fact, the Israeli lobby, they are led by the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC, has been one of the, if not the preeminent and most powerful organization in America, the lobby organization in America. They have influenced in a bipartisan way every single action taken for and on behalf of Israel. Their members, as they claim, are up to 3 million, and they're in 17 states, and they have influence. But it's the success of the Americans that really is the issue. They are predominantly made of American Jews, and American Jews, though control just having 2.4% of the American population, they control significant amount of America's wealth, a large amount of America's wealth. And through that wealth, they control the media, they control other organizations, and they are huge donors to both parties of the American political landscape. Their influence is real, and they've shaped American foreign policy as regards the Middle East for the past almost 40 years. They've helped America move, or they have influenced America into moving into wars, several wars all across the Middle East. So this is AIPAC, and AIPAC and its influence is being, for the very first time, in a national discourse, being challenged. Because the whole world has seen how Israel has acted with impunity in recent times, especially as regards to Gaza. They have rained terror, hell, and brimstone on Gaza, destroyed the whole country, killed children, and they have been confirmed to be a genocidal entity, the Netanyahu government, by no less an organization like the Amnesty International, the Human Rights Watch, and the International Criminal Court. So international institutions are the ones who say Netanyahu is running an apartheid state and is responsible for genocide, not me. Please note that. So, because it's very easy in this America for people to just label someone anti-Semitist. That's the kind of influence they have. The very fact that you call to question a regime for the actions it's taking that has crossed the border of decency and humanity, they throw the label of anti-Semitism against you. But now, American Jews who feel that the actions of the Netanyahu government are beginning to impact on how the world perceives them and their religion are taking action. Recently, one of such people in Netanyahu's government, Gantz, Ben Gavir, visited Congress in America, and he was harangued by some Jewish groups in America who accused him of destroying and bringing opprobrium to their religion. So the Jewish lobby is under the scrutiny now. Their influence in American policies is being questioned. It's the first time that this is happening. And the fact that now, if you listen to Benjamin Netanyahu, he's much more humble. Because he's humble because the Iranians have shown a capacity beyond what anybody expected. And even as I'm making this video, the Americans realizing that Israel is almost double the distance from where they have their military bases, has practically cleared out their military bases in the whole of the Gulf region because they're just a stone throw away from Israel, and they've moved their ships, their planes away from that region. So it is very clear that the capacity that Iran has shown was shocking. Nobody expected it. And the objective of destroying Israel's nuclear facilities doesn't even seem far from being achievable. Fordo is deep down in the mountains, and Isfahan, and that even the one that all the above ground buildings have been destroyed in Natanz, doesn't even seem to be affected. And yet, taking out Iran's nuclear facilities was the objective of this action. So now we see a situation where politicians in America are putting pressure on the Israeli lobby. But if it is not only the Israeli lobby, it is also the neocons, the neoconservatives who have always advocated for America to go to war, filled with mainly Christian evangelicals and people like Lindsey Graham. They also are bipartisan in their call for war. But for the very first time, they are getting pushback. This is one war America is being advised not to go into. But you see, there's a benefit to other players and other parties in the multipolar world who won't mind America going into war. Already we are seeing through back channels and through borders, because Iran is a very fast country, aid is already being shipped to Iran. People will wonder why Iran was not so fast in building relationship with Russia. Well, it's simply because Iran didn't have a good relationship with the old Soviet Union, and until they got under sanctions, they were distrustful of Russia. But now that Russia has shown itself to be a friend, they are now willing to, and they are now also in crisis, and they've gone through the same sanctions regime that Russia is going through. The Russians reached out to the Iranians, and the Iranians have been expert in managing the effects of the sanctions, have been very reliable partners and advisors and trainers of the Russian state in overcoming these sanctions. So Russia and Iran have built relationship recently. But at the core of this is trying to undermine Russia and China's role as members of the new multipolar world. Iran being a major supporter of that. reality is being challenged. They want to destroy it, but Russia and China are now throwing their weight. We don't even know what other countries of the Eurasia are doing. We don't know what Turkmenistan is doing. We don't know what kind of role Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and all those other stand countries that, even though they may not have had good relationship with Russia, I mean with Iran, see the need to keep a good relationship with them at this time now, because they understand that it's regime change is just one after the other. So the neocons are not having their way. They are getting pushed back. The advocates of war are getting pushed back. And this discussion that should Israel be supported at every turn at the detriment of America is now the big discussion in America now. And for that reason, we're seeing that Donald Trump has pulled the sponge. All his rhetoric about hitting Iran, he has started to slow down. And even though he keeps saying he will descend heavily on Iran if any American facility is attacked, he has taken the preventive measure of moving away American military assets far away from. They are now far closer to Yemen than they are closer to Iran. So this is where we are now. There is a war going on. People like Tulsi Gabbard, people like J.D. Vance, they know that for them, America's interest is the primary interest. It's not the interest of Israel. Israel is beginning to lose its shine in the political class. More voices are coming up. And how would you say this is happening? A recent poll just found out that most people consume their news these days from social media, Twitter, from TikTok. The young people of the world, that's where they are now. They consume their news from these organizations, not from Washington Post and New York Times and Axios and Politico, but they see, because these social media platforms have video content in it, and they see what's happening in the world. So the influence that New York Times used to have in shaping decision and opinions is changing. And even though people in Congress are still convinced they have their biases and they fall under the influence and orbit of AIPAC and the America-Israeli lobby. The demonstrations going on by Jews in Columbia University and Harvard University and universities all across America is in response to the images they see on social media and not the editorials they read in New York Times or in Washington Post. So this is where we are now. There's a debate going on in America now. Even within the Trump administration, there's a civil war going on as to don't do this. America first is what you campaigned on. If you go and start a war with Iran, you will tie us down. The Chinese will support Iran. They will help to tie you down in the Middle East. You will blow up the Middle East, destroy the Middle East, and all the people who support you and give you donations and all the kings and sheikhs and emirs of the Middle East, you're going to hurt them and hurt their business and hurt their region. So Trump has said that he's going to wait on a decision to bomb Iran for the next 2 weeks. The Israelis didn't expect that. If they throw one bomb missile into Tehran, Tehran sends a barrage of 15 missiles coming and blowing up things in Israel, like huge missiles that do devastating. I think the missiles of Iran have shaken the Israeli populace down to their foundation. They have never seen and heard bombs like that before. They are now terrified. They are now seeing and feeling what the Palestinians have been feeling, and they are now questioning themselves. There's still strong support. In fact, the goings on in Iran and the exchange of missiles has, from a recent poll, galvanized the Israeli populace behind Benjamin Netanyahu. But that's just not going to be enough. America may not show up. Donald Trump has a battle in his hands. Donald Trump probably will be the president who may start World War III if he takes this decision. And the weight of the decision is heavy on him. And for the very first time, the myth of Israel has been destroyed. The myth of the invisibility of the dome has been destroyed. And then the spotlight is now on the Israeli lobby. We really don't know if at the end of this exercise, there will be much more scrutiny, and who knows if the Israeli lobby will be called to question and possibly also challenged and destroyed, because it is not Israel that runs America. It is Americans that run America, and it is not Israelis or Israel that American voters vote for. It is for America that American voters vote for. This is where I come to the end of my video for today. If you have any opinions as regards to what I've expressed here, please put it in the comment section. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Until I see you in the next video. Goodbye.